Have you ever started your day feeling okay, only to suddenly feel dizzy, weak, or just off? If you're over 60, don't ignore that sensation. For many older adults, strokes don't announce themselves loudly. Instead, they often begin with subtle signs that can easily be overlooked. Until one day, movement falters, speech slurs, or memory fades. I'm not here to alarm you, but to offer a gentle warning that could protect your brain, your independence, and your future. Many strokes develop gradually, linked to everyday morning habits that seem harmless or even healthy, but might quietly harm your brain's blood flow. The good news? Making a few small changes in your daily routine can significantly reduce your risk. In this video, I'll highlight 7 common morning mistakes that many seniors unknowingly make. More importantly, I'll share simple, effective alternatives to help keep your brain sharp and safe. Let's start by looking at the first common morning habit that might be quietly stressing your brain. Ready? Here's a question for you. When you wake up in the morning, do you spring out of bed without a second thought? If that sounds like you, don't worry. You're definitely not alone. It feels natural. The sun is shining, the day is calling, and you're ready to get going. But here's the thing. Many seniors don't realize standing up too fast right after waking can quietly put your brain in danger. See, after a full night's sleep, your body is in a calm, low-pressure state. Blood flow slows down, especially to your brain. And when you suddenly shift from lying down to standing up, your blood pressure can drop sharply. This is called orthostatic hypotension, and it's far more common and dangerous than people think. You might feel a little lightheaded, maybe a bit unsteady. Some people even feel like they're about to faint. That brief moment may seem minor, but it means your brain is not getting enough oxygen. For those of us with aging blood vessels or poor circulation, that sudden shift could trigger a mini-stroke, or worse, a full-blown stroke. The solution is simple, and it takes less than 2 minutes. When you first open your eyes, don't rush. Take a few slow breaths, stretch your hands and your feet, sit up slowly, then place your feet on the floor and pause for a moment. Let your body adjust. Let your brain catch up. If you've ever felt dizzy in the morning or your balance felt a little off, that wasn't just old age. It was your body trying to warn you. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced morning dizziness or felt faint when standing up? Share your story in the comments. Someone else may be feeling the same way and not know what it means. Taking just 1 to 2 minutes to wake up gently could protect your brain for years to come. It's not about being slow, it's about being smart. In the next part, we'll talk about one common thing most people skip in the morning, even though their brain is begging for it. Let me ask you something important. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Many people reach for their phone, turn on the news, or head straight to the coffee machine. But if you're over 60, there's one simple habit you should be doing first, because it could protect your brain, your heart, and even your memory for years to come. Drink a full glass of water right after waking up. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But after 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body is already mildly dehydrated. You lose fluids overnight through breathing and sweating, and your brain, which is about 75% water, is the first to feel the effects. Without rehydration, your blood thickens, circulation slows, and your blood pressure may spike. This creates the perfect storm for memory issues, slower reflexes, and even an increased risk of stroke. For older adults, the danger is even higher, especially if you're taking medications like diuretics, which quietly pull even more water from your body while you sleep. But there's good news. Drinking a glass of room-temperature water first thing in the morning helps thin your blood, improve oxygen flow to your brain, and gently activate your whole system. Think of it as giving your brain a fresh breath of air from the inside. So, before you sip that coffee or take your morning pills, take 1 minute to rehydrate. It's small, it's free, and it might be one of the smartest habits you ever build. Breakfast is meant to fuel your day, but for many older adults, it might be quietly doing harm, especially to the brain. While a simple bowl of cereal or scrambled eggs with toast might seem innocent, these common choices often come with something hidden: excess salt. And that silent addition could increase your risk of stroke, memory loss, or sudden dizziness. The issue isn't just obvious salty foods. Sodium hides in processed breads, instant oatmeal packets, breakfast bars, sausages, and even so-called healthy cereals. These items can push your daily sodium intake over the limit before your day has even begun. What's worse, in the morning your blood pressure naturally rises as your body wakes up. Combined with a salty meal, this can stress your blood vessels, especially the delicate ones in your brain. For people over 60, this is no small matter. Long-term exposure to high sodium levels has been linked to cognitive decline, confusion, and a greater chance of suffering a stroke. But this risk is preventable with small, mindful changes. Start by choosing plain oatmeal topped with fruit or unsalted nuts instead of flavored packets. Swap processed meats for hard-boiled eggs or avocado. Even simple adjustments like these can lower your sodium by hundreds of milligrams each morning. Experts recommend keeping breakfast sodium under 300 to 400 milligrams, yet many common items go far beyond that, and surprisingly, many don't even taste salty. Your brain depends on healthy blood flow. Protect it by taking a closer look at what's on your plate. Have you already made the switch to low-sodium breakfasts? For millions of people, mornings just don't feel right without that first comforting cup of coffee. It's a familiar ritual: the smell, the warmth, the boost of energy. But if you're over 60 and drinking coffee before anything else, it might be time to rethink that habit. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach can quietly put pressure on your heart and brain. When you wake up, your body is naturally in a more sensitive state. Your blood pressure is just beginning to rise, and your system is adjusting from hours of rest. Then comes a jolt of caffeine, which increases adrenaline, speeds up your heart rate, and narrows your blood vessels. For aging arteries, that's a dangerous combination. This sudden spike in blood pressure can stress the delicate vessels in your brain, increasing your risk for mini-strokes, irregular heartbeat, and even memory decline over time. And the effects build quietly, which makes the risk easy to overlook. But the good news is, you don't have to give up coffee. You just have to be smarter about it. Start your morning by drinking a full glass of water to gently wake up your system. Then eat something light but nourishing: a slice of whole grain toast, a boiled egg, or some fresh fruit. After that, enjoy your coffee, ideally just one moderate cup. Also, be mindful of sugar-laden creamers or flavored syrups, as they can add unnecessary inflammation your body doesn't need. And if you find yourself reaching for a second or third cup just to get going, it may be a sign your body needs rest, hydration, or better nutrition, not more caffeine. Your morning routine should support your brain, not stress it. Small changes, practiced consistently, can have a powerful impact over time. Have you found a way to enjoy coffee without overdoing it? It can happen in seconds. A slight wobble as you stand, a flicker of weakness in your arm, or a moment where your speech just doesn't sound like you. Maybe it passes quickly. Maybe you blame poor sleep or a stiff neck. But that tiny moment could be your brain's early warning, and it should never be ignored. Those quiet, fleeting moments could be your brain trying to get your attention. For many older adults, especially those over 60, subtle symptoms like morning dizziness, tingling, or sudden weakness can be early signs of something more serious, like restricted blood flow to the brain, a sudden shift in blood pressure, or even a mini-stroke, also known as a TIA, transient ischemic attack. TIAs are brief and often disappear quickly, which makes them easy to overlook. But they're not harmless. In fact, they're one of the strongest warning signs that a major stroke could be coming. These episodes often occur in the early morning, when your body is transitioning from sleep, and your blood pressure is naturally fluctuating. If you've ever experienced one of these symptoms, don't wait and hope it passes. Make a note of it, tell your doctor, and consider using a symptom tracker or health app to record any unusual feelings. Identifying patterns can help you and your healthcare provider act early, before something more serious happens. Your body is always speaking to you, especially as you age. That moment of lightheadedness, that brief wave of fatigue, might be its quiet way of asking for help. The earlier you listen, the better your chances of protecting your brain and your independence. Have you ever had a morning where something didn't feel quite right, even for a few minutes? Share your story in the comments. It might help someone else recognize the signs in time. Now, let's talk about another overlooked morning habit that can affect your brain more than you think: the way you take your medications. You might wake up feeling a little off, maybe a bit dizzy, or like your balance just isn't quite there. Maybe your arm feels a little weak, or your speech isn't as clear for a few minutes. It's easy to brush it off. I probably just slept wrong, or I didn't get good rest. But please don't ignore it. Those small, quiet moments could be your brain waving a red flag. For many seniors, especially those over 60, symptoms like morning dizziness, slight numbness, or a feeling of weakness can be signs of something deeper, like poor blood flow to the brain, a sudden change in blood pressure, or even a mini-stroke, also known as a TIA, transient ischemic attack. TIAs often last just a few minutes. They come and go quickly, but they are a serious warning. They often happen in the early morning, when your body is adjusting from sleep, and they are one of the clearest signs that a major stroke could be on the horizon. If you notice these symptoms, don't wait and hope they disappear. Write them down, tell your doctor, and if you're unsure whether what you felt was serious, track it. There are simple tools and apps designed to help older adults log symptoms and spot patterns because, with stroke, every second matters. Your body is wise when it sends you a whisper, like that moment of lightheadedness or sudden fatigue. It's trying to protect you, but only if you're listening. Have you ever had one of those mornings where something just felt off, even for a few minutes? Now, let's talk about something that happens in every senior household, yet often gets overlooked: how we take our morning medications, because the when and how could be just as important as the pills themselves. How confident are you about managing your morning medications? Do you take them consistently at the same time each day with water, or do you sometimes forget, take them late, or mix up the doses? If so, you're definitely not alone. In fact, this is one of the most common yet overlooked risks to brain health among older adults. Many seniors rely on medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood thinning. These aren't just routine pills. They act as a vital shield protecting your brain from stroke. However, the way you take these medications, the timing, the dosage, and even what you drink them with, can either help protect you or increase your risk. For example, skipping a dose because you got distracted or didn't feel like taking it might cause your blood pressure to spike without you realizing. On the other hand, accidentally taking a double dose, if you're unsure whether you already took it, can dangerously lower your blood pressure or raise bleeding risks. Even small habits matter. Taking your pills with coffee instead of water, or swallowing them without food when the instructions say otherwise, can reduce their effectiveness or cause side effects. The good news is there are easy fixes. Use a pill organizer with compartments for morning, noon, and night. Set reminders on your phone or smart speaker. Keep your pills near something you do every day, like brushing your teeth or making coffee. Most importantly, never change your dosage without talking to your doctor, even if you feel fine. These medications work quietly behind the scenes. Give them the best chance to protect you. One last morning habit often overlooked, even though your body is sending a very clear message, is something we all do. Or rather, something we often delay. Going to the bathroom. Can I ask you something a bit personal? Do you ever wake up and lie there, holding it in just a little longer? Maybe you check the weather, scroll through some headlines, or wait until after your morning coffee. It seems harmless enough, right? But for those of us over 60, this small habit of delaying bathroom trips after waking could be causing more harm than you realize. When your bladder fills overnight and you postpone emptying it, your body doesn't simply wait calmly. Instead, it starts to feel stressed, releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline that raise your blood pressure and constrict your blood vessels. This early morning hormone surge, combined with a full bladder, can quietly increase your risk of stroke, especially if you already have high blood pressure or heart concerns. But there's more. Holding in urine also puts pressure on your heart. A full bladder can trigger irregular heart rhythms in some older adults, particularly those with existing issues such as arrhythmia or heart valve problems. This dangerous mix of high blood pressure and irregular heartbeat creates a perfect storm, increasing the chance of clot formation and, eventually, stroke. The best part? It's easy to prevent. Just listen to your body when you wake up. Even if you feel only a mild urge, go ahead and use the bathroom before grabbing your phone or that first sip of coffee. Think of it as your first act of self-care each day. No special tools, no complicated routines, just a simple trip that can help protect your brain and heart for years to come. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever delayed your morning bathroom visit? Or did you make a change that helped you go right away? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to change a risky habit they didn't even realize they had. Now that we've covered all 7 subtle but powerful morning habits, let's take a moment to see how they connect. Just a few small daily changes can protect your brain, balance, and independence for the long term. Remember, stroke doesn't happen suddenly. It often develops slowly, through the little choices we make every morning. From skipping water, rushing out of bed, ignoring dizziness, to holding in urine, these habits may seem minor, but quietly wear down your brain and circulation over time. The good news is, you don't need to change everything at once. Pick 1 or 2 habits to improve this week. Take it slow. Listen to your body, and trust that small steps can protect your memory, your balance, and your independence for many years to come.